Talk more about this powerful earthquake with Peggy Hellweg. She's the operations manager at the Seismology Laboratory at the University of California in Berkeley. And Peggy, thanks so much for joining us. You just heard Jim talking about the many challenges facing these rescue workers. One of those obviously will be powerful aftershocks. I know each earthquake is probably different, but can you talk generally about how many aftershocks are they likely to see after a major quake like this, and how long are they likely to continue?
Well, the aftershocks decay slowly over time. The bigger the earthquake, the more aftershocks and the longer they go on. But I would expect certainly weeks of aftershocks after an earthquake of this magnitude, if not months. Most of them, fortunately, will be small.
But some of them can be strong, though, correct?
Some of them can be strong. They can be up essentially to the magnitude of the main shock.
Tell me about your work with the Hayward Fault, because I think this is fascinating. You've got these listening sensors in an old mining tunnel just feet away from the fault itself. What are you learning from that?
Well, unfortunately, that one's not installed, but we have a lot of equipment here at Berkeley. We're using it to monitor the earthquakes and learn more about the small earthquakes and the big earthquakes that happen in the region. The network that we run, though, goes from Central California all the way to the north because our earthquakes are all over the state.
And this is all part of earthquake early warning system there in California, right? Can you describe how far we've come with technology when it comes to early warning technology?
Yeah, well, the earthquake early warning system is simply the next step in what we are doing. As time has passed, we've become better able to locate earthquakes quickly and determine the magnitude. And now with earthquake early warning, we can do it within a few seconds of the earthquake actually starting. That means that if you're not right there where the earthquake starts, we can tell you a few seconds, a few tens of seconds before the shaking gets to your location that the shaking is coming and you need to do something about it.
There are all these, I've lived in the Midwest where there were tornado warnings, of course, here in Washington, D.C., hurricane warnings, that sort of thing. How far away are we from predicting earthquakes in that type of manner, would you say, or is it still a long way off?
Predicting earthquakes is the same as predicting the hurricanes. We don't actually know that they're coming until they've started up. And with the hurricanes, we see them develop and getting bigger. With earthquakes, the problem is we don't know exactly when they're going to happen. We know approximately where they're going to happen and how big the magnitude could be. But prediction, the earthquake's going to happen tomorrow, that's impossible. Earthquake early warning is recognizing the earthquake quickly once it's started and saying, here's where it is, this is how big it is.
And what are the advantages? I mean, you're talking about a short period of time, though. How much do seconds really matter? I mean, this is not a big window where, hey, in about an hour, you're going to get hit with an earthquake. I mean, it's just a matter of seconds, correct?
It's a matter of seconds. And the two most important applications are automatic responses and people protecting themselves by getting under their desk and so on, both things that can happen in a few seconds. For example, we're working with the Bay Area Rapid Transit System here in the Bay Area to help them be able to slow the trains so when the shaking gets there, the trains aren't going as fast and are less likely to derail.
Peggy, I suspect you've been at this for a while. What's been the most rewarding aspect of doing this sorts of work?
The most rewarding part is the idea that people know there are earthquakes and it's been difficult to get them to prepare, but knowing that you might hear in advance gives you an added in to, oh, if they're going to tell me beforehand, I should be prepared so that I'll know what to do and I will be ready to face the results afterwards.
Got one final question for you as you watch the images from China. And I know you've lived in California, you've seen some of these major quakes. What can the people there expect over the next days, months, would you say?
So I hope they find the people who were in the collapsed building quickly, because there's only a limited amount of time where the rescues will work, and after that you have to be prepared to collect the bodies. The other thing is that earthquake early warning, for example, is only one part of the system. In California, we've been doing a lot to prepare before so that when the warning comes, we will have the best response possible and be able to recover more quickly. Unfortunately, the buildings in this part of China are not so resilient, and so rebuilding is going to be important. But it's important then to rebuild well.
Peggy Hellweg is joining us from California. Thank you so much.